watching Trending Tonight with me, Sanket Upadhyay. Two stories that we are going to focus on right here. Well, this story is about political tumult. It is something which is being experienced in poll-bound Punjab, something being experienced in poll-bound Uttar Pradesh, but it is also being experienced in a state which has nothing to do with elections, the state of Maharashtra. A very interesting development has happened. The Prime Minister met with the Chief Minister, or the other way around. And ever since that meeting has happened, we see a very different tone that is being sung by leaders of the Shiv Sena. So Sanjay Raut, who heads the party's mouthpiece Samna also, he is praising Narendra Modi. Raut has praised Modi after Uddhav's meet. The only question that we are asking, that between BJP and Sena, what's really cooking? Is there something, or is this, just a statement which means nothing? What's really happening in Maharashtra? Also on the show, we'll get you an exclusive interview with a man who's just very recently jumped ship from the Congress party into the BJP. And there is a larger debate which has kick-started all over again. What is it about ideology? Is it much about ideology, or to contain and control perhaps political redundancy? We'll be speaking to Jitin Prasad in just a short moment from now. But first, we'll show you pictures of that meeting between the Prime Minister as well as the Chief Minister of Maharashtra. They met a few days ago in the national capital. This was an important meeting. Those are the pictures that you can see on your screen. Ajit Pawar on one side, Ashok Chavan on the other. This is the Troika. These are the three people who, or three parties who constitute the Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi. He then came to the Maharashtra Sadan, the sprawling building, where he held a press conference and said, I didn't go and meet Nawaz Sharif. I met this country's Prime Minister. I may not have political association with him right now, but we are not enemies. And within a few days, Sanjay Raut has this to say.
कारण याला काय अधिकृत दुजोरा कोणी दिलेला नाही. या वृत्तपत्रातल्या प्रश्नचिन्ह निर्माण केलेल्या बातम्या. मी आजही असं मानतो की नरेंद्र मोदी हे भारतीय जनता पक्षाचे आणि देशाचे सगळ्यात मोठे नेते आहेत आणि गेल्या 7 वर्षात भारतीय जनता पक्षाला जे यश प्राप्त झालेलं आहे ते नरेंद्र मोदी यांच्या चेहऱ्यामुळेच प्राप्त झाले. हे नाकारता येणार नाही, ते स्वीकारलं पाहिजे. पण शेवटी देशाचे नेते आहेत ते, पण ते ज्या पक्षातून पुढे गेलेले आहेत त्या पक्षाला वाटतं की प्रत्येक निवडणूक ही प्रधानमंत्र्यांच्या नावावर जिंकावी.
So Narendra Modi is the top leader of the country and the BJP, success which BJP has got in last 7 years in only because of Narendra Modi. I would like to welcome Mr. Majid Memon of the NCP, Asif Bhamla, spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and Sanjay Gupta, leader of the Shiv Sena. Thank you very much to the three of you. I would like to begin with you, Mr. Gupta. इससे क्या मतलब निकाला जाए? ये जो तारीफों के पुल बांधे गए हैं प्रधानमंत्री के लिए, इससे क्या मतलब निकाला जाए?
देखिए, इसका एक ही मतलब है संकेत कि हमारे देश के अंदर जितनी भी पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज हैं वो आपस में एक दूसरे की दुश्मन नहीं है. हर पॉलिटिकल पार्टी का सिर्फ एक ही एम है कि किस तरह से देश को आगे ले जाया जाए. और जो संजय राउत जी ने कहा, उद्धव साहब ने कहा, उन्होंने कहा कि प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी साहब हमारे देश के सबसे बड़े नेता हैं, तो ये फैक्ट है कि कोई भी प्रधानमंत्री हमारे देश का होगा तो हमारे देश का सबसे बड़ा नेता ही कहलाएगा. फिर ये भी फैक्ट है कि वो बीजेपी पार्टी के सबसे बड़े नेता हैं. फिर यही फैक्ट है कि बीजेपी की जो 7 साल में उन्नति हुई है, बीजेपी पार्टी की, सरकार की बात नहीं है, पार्टी की बात है, तो वो सभी ने देखी है कि मोदी साहब के नेतृत्व में किस तरह से उन्होंने उन्नति की है. तो ठीक है. और फिर एक बात का और क्लियर संकेत दिया है कि राजनीतिक रिश्ते जरूर खत्म हुए हैं आपस में, लेकिन आपसी संबंध थे हैं. और वो तो मेरे ख्याल से मुझे नहीं लगता कि 25-30 साल जो व्यक्ति जो पार्टी साथ रही है उनके आपसी संबंध कभी खत्म होंगे।
नहीं, मैं लेकिन इसके राजनीतिक मायने निकाले जाएं या ना निकाले जाएं? जैसे कि अगर मैं पूछूं कि अघाड़ी चलेगी या आप कहीं और चले जाएंगे?
जिस तरह से संजय राउत जी ने ये भी कहा कि जो हमारी अघाड़ी सरकार के दूसरे दल हैं उनके साथ भी इस बात को देखा जाता है कि किस तरह से संगठन को और मजबूत किया जाए, पार्टी को, सरकार को और मजबूत किया जाए, किस तरह से विकास की बात की जाए। तो दोनों बातें हैं। उन्होंने इस बात को क्लियर तौर पर कहा है कि पार्टी
So you're saying that too much meaning must not be read into the statement that has been made. Mr. Majid Memon, would you concur to the view that this is just a statement? Do you also feel that this is a fact, that he is the tallest leader in the country and tallest leader within his own party, and that the BJP, whatever they have achieved, is only because of Narendra Modi?
Well, Sanket, as far as the statement of Sanjay Raut is concerned, it is his personal opinion, or it is probably, I could go one step further and say that the opinion of the Shiva Sena as one of the partners in the Aghadi in Maharashtra. Now, you see that what he has said, if you analyze what he has said, well, by virtue of being the Prime Minister of a democracy, he is certainly the highest executive office. He is holding the highest executive office. So he is the tallest leader as far as our democratic system is concerned, because he has been chosen as the Prime Minister to lead the country to that extent. Now, as far as his party is concerned, I don't think anyone would dispute that he is the tallest leader in BJP, because if you will see that not a single person could, whether it is Amit Shah, whether it is Rajnath Singh ji, whether it is anybody else or Nadda or anyone, has anyone ever has mustered courage to criticize Narendra Modi publicly? Never. So that shows his might, that shows his control over the party. In the party, he is an unquestionable leader and there is none near him. And therefore, to that extent, Sanjay Raut's that statement also, that he is the tallest leader in BJP, we can't find fault. Now, if you want to read too much out of it and feel that probably Shiv Sena is making bridge to go back to BJP or NDA, I don't think that is true. You see, Sharad Pawar, who is in fact the coordinator of the current Aghadi in Maharashtra, by a strange, pleasant coincidence, today NCP has completed 22 years and we had our Vardhapan Divas, in which Sharad Pawar ji has made a statement only a few hours ago. It is of course available in media that Aghadi will continue to work for 5 years without any disturbance. So there is no question of Shiva Sena breaking out or anything of that kind.
Okay, interesting. But Mr. Bhamla, see, the point is, in politics, for you to continuously reiterate, and I am asking you this question because your party has not been as kind as Mr. Gupta's party is to the BJP. Your party is going hammer and tongs against the Shiv Sena, against the Aghadi. And this does not seem to be, you playing the role of a political opponent. It almost seems that you want to take the criticism to a whole new level. So, should one construe or should one think that this is an attempt being made to leave the door ajar between two old allies who are no more allies now?
I don't see why the media is reading so much between the line. Honorable Majid ji is a very senior spokesperson, and with what he said, I take a cue from that, and with what you said too, that he has not met Nawaz Sharif or he has not met an Imran Khan. He has met the Honorable Prime Minister of the country, who is your Prime Minister, who is my Prime Minister, who is Majid Bhai's Prime Minister, and he's everyone's Prime Minister. And I certainly see that a very good camaraderie. You may have different ideologies, your mindsets are different, but to sort out any issues, like the Honorable Chief Minister went there to discuss on issues of the Maharashtra, of the Maratha reservation, the Kanjurmarg car shed. These are certainly issues, of very significance, which need attention and light from the central government. So it's nothing wrong if he has gone there, he has met them, and knowing, you see, Maharashtra में एक परंपरा रही है, आप कितने भी मतभेद रहो. If you see Honorable Pawar Saab has been head and tongs against the Shiv Sena for 30 years. I mean, he was the leader of the opposition, but he shared such a fabulous camaraderie with Bala Saab. So I don't see why the media is making so much. Why is it going so gung ho over it? I mean, this is a signal, and I would personally say, even a Mamata Banerjee, instead of shouting and howling away, she should meet the Prime Minister. Today is a very challenging time, and it is very, very important for all state
Mr. Bhamla, it's interesting that you mentioned Mamata Banerjee, because obviously the relationship between the state and the centre is at break point.
Sanket, I have not completed. Let me submit. It is very important. We are fighting with an invisible enemy, and in troubled times like this, if the Chief Minister meets the Prime Minister, and BJP and Shiv Sena have been, Naisargik कहते हैं ना, partners रहे 30 साल से, they fought the elections together. And they got a mandate, and I think today as well in the state, BJP is the single largest party.
Okay,
so
Mr. Bhamla, I think, okay, I've got what you're saying. Mr. Bhamla, I'll come back to you. One moment. Let me come back to you. Mr. Gupta, I want to come to you now. Mr. Gupta, when I look at this side of politics in Maharashtra, this can actually be a model on how to do politics all over again in this country. Because right now what you see, Mr. Gupta, आप अगर और किसी भी राज्य में देखें, तो जिस तरीके की कटुता देखने को मिलती है, the cutthroat nature of politics. I think this is only in Maharashtra can Mr. Asif Bhamla, shower praises on a Sharad Pawar and an Uddhav Thackeray being in opposition. ये बंगाल में तो नहीं हो सकता.
मैं संकेत जी इस विषय में सिर्फ एक बात ये कहना चाहूंगा. मैं संकेत जी इस विषय में ये कहना चाहूंगा कि हमें हमारे जितने भी स्टेट के चीफ मिनिस्टर्स हैं, उन्हें उद्धव साहब से ये सीखने की जरूरत है कि पार्टी पॉलिटिक्स तब तक होनी चाहिए जब तक किसी स्टेट के अंदर इलेक्शन है या सरकार बननी है. लेकिन जब एक बार सरकार बन जाती है तो हर चीफ मिनिस्टर को हमारे देश के प्राइम मिनिस्टर का सम्मान करना ही चाहिए, और हर स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को केंद्र के साथ किस तरह का कोऑर्डिनेशन हो, ये मेरे ख्याल से उद्धव साहब से सीखने की जरूरत है.
ये आपकी पोजीशन हमेशा रहेगी? ये आपकी पोजीशन हमेशा रहेगी बीजेपी के लिए? और इज दिस जस्ट ये सम्मान आप सिर्फ प्रधानमंत्री को दे रहे हैं या उनके दल को भी दे रहे हैं?
देखिए, ये सम्मान प्रधानमंत्री साहब को भी है, और पर्सनल लेवल पर कह सकते हैं तो दल को हो सकता है, लेकिन ऑफिशियल तौर पर अगर देखा जाए तो प्रधानमंत्री साहब को है. और मेरे ख्याल से हर चीफ मिनिस्टर को इस मापदंड को अपनाना चाहिए, क्योंकि केंद्र सरकार हमारे देश की सबसे बड़ी सरकार होती है, और किसी भी आपदा के समय में किसी भी तरह की स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के लोगों के लिए हर स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को केंद्र सरकार के पास जाना ही पड़ता है. और जब आप किसी से कुछ मांगने जाते हैं अपनी स्टेट के लिए, तो आदर और सम्मान के साथ जाना चाहिए, जिस तरह से उद्धव साहब प्राइम मिनिस्टर साहब के पास.
No, I'm just trying to ask you, is this a situation where you want some favor from the central government and that is why there is some sort of a go slow? कि आपको केंद्र सरकार से किसी किस्म के कोई सहयोग की जरूरत है, इस वजह से अगर थोड़ा सा अगर सुरीले सुर भी गाने पड़े तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है?
हाँ नहीं, नेचुरली ये बात तो है, इसमें तो कोई बात ही नहीं है.
अच्छा, यही बात है.
तो यही बात है. और देखिए, राजनीति में पिछले 30 साल से हर पॉलिटिकल पार्टी अलग अलग पार्टी के साथ गठबंधन करके अपनी सरकारें बनाती रही है, मगर सिर्फ एक शिवसेना एक ऐसी पार्टी थी जिसने 30 साल में कभी भी बीजेपी से इधर उधर जाकर के सरकार अपनी नहीं बनाई. तो जो खेल दूसरी पॉलिटिकल पार्टियां खेलती थी सरकार बनाने का, वो खेल अब शिवसेना भी सीख चुकी है. और हर पॉलिटिकल पार्टी का एक एम होता है कि किस तरह से अपनी सरकार बना करके जिन लोगों के बीच में जाकर के
again, whether you look at you look at UP, Punjab, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, I think the one common consensus over here is that there is only one ideology in politics, and that is power. But I want to ask you, Mr. Memon, could this be a situation where Mr. Uddhav Thackeray, whether for some personal political gain or a political gain for the state, is now going soft on the BJP? I don't know. Does it stop here?
अभी मैं गुप्ता जी को सुन रहा था. मैं इतना उसमें ऐड करना चाहूँगा आपके दर्शकों के लिए कि उद्धव ठाकरे से जितनी हमें अपेक्षा थी एक मुख्यमंत्री महाराष्ट्र का आघाड़ी सरकार के नेतृत्व करने की, उससे कहीं बेहतर उन्होंने परफॉर्मेंस दिया है. जिस अंदाज से उन्होंने प्रधानमंत्री के सामने, हालांकि उनके साथ में हमारी पार्टी के डिप्टी चीफ मिनिस्टर भी थे, कांग्रेस के अशोक चौहान भी थे, लेकिन लीड रोल उद्धव ठाकरे ने लिया है. और मैं समझता हूँ बड़ी सफलतापूर्वक तरीके से उन्होंने अपनी बातें प्रधानमंत्री के सामने रखवाई हैं। हमारे मित्र संजय राउत साहब ने जरा सी जल्दबाजी की प्रधानमंत्री की तारीफ करने में। मुझे लगता है कि जो मुद्दे महाराष्ट्र के से जुड़े हुए प्रधानमंत्री जी के सामने रखे गए, जिसमें मराठा आरक्षण का सबसे बड़ा मुद्दा है, उसके अलावा जीएसटी के पैसे देने का मुद्दा है, काउंसिल की सीटों का मुद्दा है, कई
वो सब हो जाता है, उसके बाद तारीफ कर देते हैं।
एग्जैक्टली, वो वेट करते देखते।
So you're saying that Mr. Raut has
no, Mr. Raut has, of course, his anticipation, he has done it, and I wish, my wishful thinking is
no,
that
but then you tell me if Mr. Raut is doing this for some benefit for his state.
No, I don't think so. I know Sanjay Raut is a very personal friend of mine. We have worked together in Parliament for several years, and then I know him very intimately. And I must tell you, I can tell even his mindset. He has said it without any latent meaning, as you may or any other journalist may try to extract out of it. मगर इतना जरूर है कि उद्धव ठाकरे संजय राउत ने अगर प्रधानमंत्री की तारीफ की है, तो साथ ही साथ ये बात भी सामने उभर के आई है कि प्रधानमंत्री की पॉपुलैरिटी चार्ट जो है वो कुछ नीचे गिरी है वेस्ट बंगाल के चुनाव के बाद। और उन्होंने ये भी कहा कि प्रधानमंत्री को राजनीतिक चुनाव में इतना ज्यादा
he should not get involved in election campaigning as it puts pressure on the official machinery.
वेस्ट बंगाल में उन्होंने अपना सब कुछ दांव पे लगा दिया था। यानी यूं समझे कि मेरी और ममता की लड़ाई है, और बदकिस्मती से जनता ने उनको नीचा दिखा दिया। तो ये तो उनका चार्ट तो नीचे गया ही है। और जो टिप्पणियां हो रही हैं कोविड-19 के संबंध में या प्राइस राइज, पेट्रोल की कीमत के बारे में, देश की बहुत सारी ऐसी समस्याएं जिनके बारे में भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार की टिप्पणियां हो रही हैं।
Okay, right. Thank you so much. I've run out of time. Thank you so much. I've run out of time. Let's just hope that there is no deeper political meaning as we are being told right here, or will there be another comment showering praises on the Prime Minister and his political outfit? All right. The other big story that we are going to track right here is this big exit from the Congress. But what really is it about? Is politics about ideology or trying to contain redundancy? And could that explain the shift of Jitin Prasad? What does he plan to do in the BJP? I asked him some questions. Newly inducted into the Bharatiya Janata Party, Mr. Jitin Prasad is now with us. Mr. Prasad, thank you so much for talking to NDTV. My first question to you is, what are your plans? What do you plan? First of all, congratulations for this new assignment. What are your plans? What will you do in the BJP?
Thank you. So like I said, it's a very long thought out decision, and I'm very happy and thankful to the BJP leadership for having given me a place in their family. And now that I am in that party which I thought at one point in time we used to face the wrath of the Prime Minister's popularity. He was so popular, we used to see how people's trust and faith, and we've lost elections against the Bharatiya Janata Party. But today, over the years, I can see that as my role of being a politician, of reaching out and helping the people that I promised to work for, that was diminishing, and that I was not being able to fulfill the people's expectations. But today, under this great organization and great leadership, I plan to work for the people wholeheartedly and try and make, even if I can make a little bit of a difference in their lives, I think I have succeeded.
Okay, Jitin, you launched last year, I remember us talking, the Brahmin Chetana Manch. The idea was a cross-political platform for Brahmins in the state of Uttar Pradesh. I still remember your words, khoya hua samman lautana hai, Brahman Samaj ko. Do you think that you're addressing this caste equation in the Bharatiya Janata Party?
No, that the party leadership will decide what I bring to the table. But as far as that Brahman Chetna Parishad was concerned, I was one of the people involved where I was invited to talk to the community, and my whole intention was that it is apolitical, We are not deciding where the votes of the community will go, but where atrocities, problems with their future, the youth, any other issue that the community faced, we will try and amplify it and try and bring, a resolution. And today, by joining the Bharatiya Janata Party, I'm even more in a position to help out and the community, and I will be more effective. And that's what I have to say.
Mr. Prasad, let me quote from what a leader of your former party has had to say. They say that people are associated with political parties for an ideology, for an idea. Mr. Kapil Sibal says that you going to the BJP, even if he is chucked out of or thrown out of the party, Kapil Sibal will never go to the BJP to get political prasad. Of course, that was a play on your surname. But I think what the point he's trying to make is that you have gone there for a political benefit and compromised on ideology.
I've got the drift of what he's saying. He's a very senior lawyer and was a friend of my father's. But at the same time, when there is no, as to speak, ideology, the only ideology is the national interest. And if he is actually talking about ideology, first he should talk about it within the Congress party and explain to the nation that what was the ideology when the Congress party formed a government with the Shiv Sena. That was an institutional shift in ideology, not an individual. He might call me, am I only an individual? But can he answer to me, what did he do and what did he say when the Congress party aligned with the Shiv Sena? What did he say and what were his comments and what prasad was happening when in the recently concluded assembly elections, the Congress party in Bengal allied with the left front, and on the other hand, at the same time, it was fighting the left front to lock, stock and barrel in Kerala. So what kind of ideology was that? What kind of ideology was when a cleric was a part of the coalition with a fundamentalist force? What, and I mean, even in Assam.
So are you trying to say that institutionally the Congress hunts for prasad
and give
in
gyan
politics?
to others? Sorry?
Now, are you trying to say that the Congress party is institutionally hunting for that prasad that Mr. Kapil Sibal is talking about?
I'm not trying to say, I'm just asking, I would like to, through you, ask Mr. Sibal to comment on these issues which are far larger and far greater impact. And today the Congress seems directionless because of these very issues that he should cater to and address rather than commenting on a small individual like me. That's not going to change the fortunes of the Congress for sure.
Okay. Mr. Prasad, tell me something. A lot of comments from the Congress and also within Uttar Pradesh, which is your native state, seem to say that, you are not going to address a Brahmin caste equation. You have basically been inducted into the BJP to show the Gandhis in poor light. Because Jitin Prasad was always seen as this individual close to the Gandhis, close to the first family of the Congress, and his induction in the BJP just shows that family in poor light. Do you think that politically this assessment is correct of this being your utility?
See, let me tell you, whoever is giving you this assessment, I really don't know where that comes from. As far as the Bharatiya Janata Party, I'm very new to it, but it's a party with far bigger goals and far greater objectives. It's not in the business of short-term gains and showing certain individuals in a particular light. What it does, like I said, it's the only real national party which works on an institutionalized basis, and functioning is totally institutional, and it caters to the long-term interests of this nation. So whatever inductions that happen are not for short term, they are well thought about, and everybody has a role, and I myself will try and live up to the expectations, whatever the Bharatiya Janata Party leadership has in mind for me.
My final question to you, Mr. Prasad, will you be concentrating more on politics surrounding your community, that is the Brahmin community, all communities? Will it be in the organization, in the government? You know that there is a cabinet reshuffle expected in UP.
No. I have no clue about any reshuffles. What I can tell you about is, of course, all community, we are politicians who face the electorate, we take everybody along. Of course, I have been involved with the community that I belong to, but that does not mean I neglect any other community and not be of use or service to them. And as far as my role goes, I leave it to the Bharatiya Janata Party leadership. Whatever they have in mind, I will try and work. I'm a man of few words. My work should speak for me, and the next time I do meet you, it should be about my work and not about, talking to you about issues of reshuffles and roles.
Sure.
I rather speak of what I intend to do on the ground.
Look forward to that day, Mr. Prasad. Congratulations once again and all the best for your new assignment. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanket. Thank you, sir.